You know, me and Gabba Penton had a fight, and Gabba Penton won by a complete and utter knockout. Phew. I'm sorry I'm late, folks. I'll get the crew in here after I say, let's go.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up?
Good morning! Snowman here to all you Brock Purdy and San Francisco 49er haters. Shut up! I gotta thank you, Shane.
I mean, whatever happened to the games where breaking 100 points was, I don't know, unusual?
There was one word to sum up the All-Star weekend.
Trays. Cause we take this job so serious.
Splash Brothers, yes. Ray Allen, replace him with Steve Kerr. Reggie Miller, yeah.
What in the all types of blue hell?
Ain't nothing serious but them damn seals shut.
Oh, yeah!
Let's go!
Okay.
I apologize to the crew because, as I said, me and Gabba
That was
have a fight.
that bottle crack. That can crack was for you, Jen.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't from
I'll
me.
explain in a moment.
No, it was for you.
Yeah, I know. I get it. Thank you.
I'll explain in a moment. Good morning, and welcome one and all to the fabulous, fantastic football potluck Friday edition of Snowman in the Morning. Glad to have y'all with us. This first hour is powered, of course, by Invader Coffee, fuel for the fearless. Have you ever taken something like for pain
Mm-hmm.
Painkillers?
and
All the time.
it just
Former
it just
three-sport
knocks you
athlete. Former three-sport
All the
athlete. I
time.
get it.
Yep.
All the time.
All the time.
Well, whenever I'm in pain.
Here's what happened.
Oh, I was gonna say,
Boss,
like all the time. There's
boss,
something
let me
wrong
tell you
there.
something.
Dates,
boss-
honestly, with my back
Here's what
condition,
happened.
it's a lot more often than you think.
All right, hold on.
Boss,
One
let me
at a
tell
time.
Here's what
boss.
happened.
Let me
Here's
give
what
you a cock.
You
I was about to say, let me give you my cocktail, even if when I take it with caffeine. 4 Excedrin and 2 allergy med, and that will put me out for at least 9 or 10 hours.
There you go. Snowman, go ahead.
Here's what happened. Signed out of here about 1 a.m. because I was working on all kinds of graphics and my OBS setup for.
That's your first mistake.
That's a big mistake. The hell you
Up till
doing?
1 a.m.
Jody and I both
Hey,
signed
boss,
out.
are we on radio today?
I believe so.
Yes.
Yes.
We're
Y'all-
on
y'all
radio.
What a
think that's
what a
I can't ask the actual question then.
mistake.
Y'all think that's bad? The other week,
Listen,
I was up until 2 a.m. working on outfits in Vroid for my dear friend Hime.
listen, I didn't realize how late it was
Mhm.
until my wife came in here to the office and said, we got to go to bed. What? Because when you get in the zone, when you're working on stuff, everybody knows this. When you're working on a project and you get in the zone, you don't think about anything else. And when my wife came in here and said, honey, we got to go to bed, I looked at my phone when I got in the bedroom and got comfy. I looked at my phone and it read 1:30, and I'm going, what? Because I was on a roll. I was getting
What?
all of my set. What? I was getting all of my setups done. Errol Marks will join us at the bottom of the hour to talk all things Jets, all things football, Super Bowl, things like that. And then we're just going to wing it when we're done. Errol Marks is the man in charge of the Worldwide Sports Radio Network, which airs our show every morning. And thank you to the Worldwide Sports Radio Network, and also a big thank you to Shady Sports Network, who lent me a hand 2 years ago when I was struggling really, really bad trying to get the show on air somewhere. And Sam stepped in and said, look, we'll put you on Shady Sports Network. We got you. So a big thank you to Sam and the rest of the crew over at Shady Sports Network. Welcome to those of you listening on Snowman Multimedia Sports Radio. Of course, one of our flagship stations, WJKS in Indianapolis, Indiana. And I'm going to do a better job of promoting all the radio stations that air our show. And also a big welcome to those of you listening on WQVZ 1700 Mission Radio down in Alabama.
Now, boss, I've got an idea for the first segment for you.
You like that? You like
listening. Thank you, Victor.
You like that?
Well, you like that? You like that?
Coming to Jen's server very soon.
Yes. Go ahead, dog.
Yes.
Because every time we come up with something, especially lately here on the show, guess where it winds up?
On Jen's server.
On Jen's server.
Community.
Yep. So
what's your idea?
I am expecting that to make its grand debut on my stream during their intro for my 3D debut.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Oh yeah, it'll be there. But the idea I had is I had to dig out something about 18 inches deep from the snowbanks. I think it's time that I hit the button, or since I don't have the truck in front of me, someone else hits the button, and we go to the garage.
Oh dear.
Okay.
We can't.
Oh,
Why not?
Because Victor got in my truck and moved the dog.
No, I didn't. I don't even have the keys.
Wait, you don't even have the keys.
That's a lie. That is not a lie.
I know it's not a lie.
I don't even have the keys. I'm just the queen that you guys escort around.
No, listen.
I thought you were an empress.
Listen, I'm going to fix that and make sure we are not late getting on the show, because what I'm going to do with the crew, I'm going to give everybody a key, and I will train them this weekend. So Monday, if I happen to be running late or have a doctor's appointment or anything like that, any member of the crew can get in here by 10 a.m. and push the button, and we'll go.
It will have to be on Sunday, because I will not.
So what's in the
garage, dog?
Why won't you be?
Well, believe it or not, Deets had a couple of questions for me.
Oh, okay.
I have a question for Dog, and
okay, what's that?
Yes,
This comes from my viewing of NASCAR 25, the video game.
Okay.
So this has happened a couple times, and I just want to know if this is real or not, or if it's a glitch in the game.
Mm-hmm.
But
try me.
A couple of times I've seen this where the guy I'm watching is in third place, and so there's two people in front of him. And in this case, Kyle Busch was in second.
Okay.
Kyle Busch spun out and hit the wall.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And a caution came up. And a caution popped up.
Right.
So he goes by, sees Kyle hit the wall, goes by Kyle, and the caution comes out, and you hit it, and it goes to the automatic restart.
Right.
When they restarted the race, at that point, Kyle Busch was still in second place.
Glitch.
But he caused the caution. Yeah. Don't you go to the back of the line if you cause a caution?
It's 100% glitch. For one, that car would have been destroyed because it's Kyle Busch. And for two, that's a full-blown glitch in the game.
Okay.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Let me do something. Let me do something real quick. I know we're late and we're running late and all kinds of stuff like that, but folks, we're going to the garage.
Hey.
So my guess in this scenario, like if you cause a caution that doesn't wreck your car, but your caution still comes out, you still lose your spots. Okay.
Yeah,
it's happened a bunch in that game.
You line back up where you line back up after the caution. You don't line up where you end up losing the position.
Okay.
So that's just a full-blown glitch in the game. But speaking of glitches, the weather is going to be a glitch this weekend because, ladies and gentlemen, NASCAR is unofficially back in Bowman Gray Stadium.
Oh, wow.
The Cookout Clash happens on the 1st, and unfortunately, we may be seeing a snow delay.
If my memory serves me correct, Bowman Gray, that's down in Carolina, isn't it?
Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Home sweet home.
Why?
Why?
Because
why?
Because
they're trying to build up Bowman. They're still trying to build up Bowman Gray.
That they are, and the fact is they didn't feel like rebuilding the LA Coliseum track every year, so they figured they'd go to a track that had the same size, which is a quarter mile, and cause all sorts of havoc. Last year it went fine because the weather was decent.
You understand my question of why? Why schedule a race in North Carolina in February as your kickoff race? I understand you don't want to do it in LA every year. There's a raceway in Phoenix. There's a raceway in deep South Texas. There's raceways that weather will not affect. You will not be affected by weather in Glendale, Arizona.
Right.
True.
Like there is no reason to schedule that race in North Carolina February 1st. You're going to get hit with weather no matter what.
Deets, the thing is, NASCAR was wanting to get back to its roots, and this way the teams wouldn't have far to travel. It is, their preseason kickoff.
Yeah, but still, you could still have that preseason kickoff in better places. I understand.
They used to have it in Daytona. For the longest time, boss, you and I know this, they used to have the Clash in Daytona.
Right. They had
as the kickoff to Speed Weeks.
Yep, that was the kickoff, and that led to Daytona 500.
So why was it changed?
Yeah, it led to the duel. It led to the duels, and it led to the 500. But they decided now.
I'll give you one guess, Victor, why it was changed.
More eyes, more money. I'm taking it.
TV. The Clash was never on. The Clash was never on TV. It was never on TV. It was on like. It wasn't on national. It was not nationally broadcast. The first national broadcast was Daytona.
Yeah, it was.
Hang on a moment.
The Clash for the longest time was on CBS, and then it moved to Fox, and then it went to FS1. Yeah, it was.
Oh wow!
I grew up watching it. It was on CBS, and it went to ESPN.
I never heard of the Clash being broadcast till like 3 years ago.
It was on CBS, and then it went to Fox, and then NBC, because whoever had the 500 for that year for the longest time also got the Clash.
Okay. But again, why even try to mess with it? Like, if you're going to get messed up by if it gets messed up by weather, what do they do?
Well, they've already lost Saturday because of weather. They've already preemptively canceled all activities Saturday, which included the heat races. So they're literally turning this into a one-day show. Everything goes down Sunday.
Wow.
That's a long day.
Yeah. Practice is at 2. The heats are at 3. The LCQ is at 6, and the race is at 8.
Yikes. That's a long
And that race,
day. No one's
The race is 200 laps.
After midnight.
The race is 200 laps split in half.
Kenneth Clark is here with us. He says, "Hey, my friends, how is everyone doing today? I'm doing good today, and maybe stream the Daytona 500, Snowman." Kenneth, you will get your wish because
and your boy is going to be in the booth with them.
Yep.
Oh, it's
for
gonna
the
be
first
fun.
time, old Snowman's going to do a NASCAR race. We're going to kick it off with the Daytona 500 on February 15th.
Don
That's
is
a
one
2:30.
proud man when that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, speaking of the 500, as you guys have known, we are doing picks for this year for NASCAR. I have come up with the rule package for these picks.
Okay.
Oh.
As I said, it will be a
All
top 5. So obviously, you got to pick your top 5 drivers, and we're going to do it in the same. We're going to do it the same way as NASCAR does it for their points, which means your driver is also eligible for stage points.
Which means, can I sue
I'm
him?
putting that wrinkle into it because stage points can make or break a championship.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Your driver will
fair
where your driver finishes will be the points you get.
See, I haven't paid close enough attention to NASCAR. This is going to force me to.
Kind of like what we do.
This
Kind of like
is
what we do for
gonna
Uma.
be a headache for
right?
me, isn't it?
Yes. Jen, I'll explain everything
kinda
to
like
you
what
off
we do
air.
for-
Don't worry about it. I'll
It's
send
not
you a
that much of
DM.
a.
Thank
You just got to pick You just got to pick numbers. If you don't know a driver, just pick a number. That's how it works.
Jen, don't worry.
Anyone in NASCAR? I only know Formula One.
Jen, I've got you covered. You're talking to the expert. I got you covered, okay?
Yeah.
I think the only thing
All
I
right.
could contribute to this is probably, I don't know.
Think of this as
an
Uma Musume
MMD
with
around
Wheel.
racing.
An MMD around racing?
Yeah, there's a song out there
Okay.
called Two-Dimensional Dream Fever.
All right, folks. 34 after the hour, and we got somebody waiting for us.
We do.
This fellow's a very dear friend of mine. We met several years ago when COVID was going on. He stepped in and said, "Look, I got you. Just bring your show here." And he's one of 2 big networks that airs our show every morning.
Wonderful.
He is one of the co-hosts of the ever popular Jabba and the Mouth. And yes, we're talking about former pitcher Jabba Chamberlain. I was on the show recently venting about my 49ers, and he texted me and he said, "When can I come on and vent about my Jets?"
Oh boy.
Here's your chance. Please welcome one of the men in charge of the Worldwide Sports Radio Network, the Big E, Errol Marks. Good morning, brother.
Good morning.
I'm good, man. It would have been nice having my nice green screen and all my pictures on the back of it, but I'm on my phone right now, so I'm sitting in my studio, I'm relaxing, and I've been listening to your show. I've been very, very busy, and last night was a great show. We had Foye Oluwakin on last night, one of the best linebackers in the NFL from the Jacksonville Jaguars, and it was great. Yeah, it's been a crazy, crazy week, and obviously I was supposed to go to the Super Bowl this next week. I decided not to travel all the way to San Francisco with all the storms coming out, and one of my guys is actually going out there.
Yeah, I got several people going out to Radio Row in Santa Clara, and we're going to check in with everybody. I also hope to get Kevin Burkhardt, the lead announcer for Fox NFL football. We'll see what happens. All right, Errol. I made a promise, and I'm going to keep it because Errol has been begging me for the latter part of the season. Hey, you need to let me on your show to vent about my Jets. I said, "You sure you want to do that on the air?" He says, "Yes." And then I said, you realize I do have a couple radio stations picking up? He says, yes, and I'll kind of be nice. That line right there. He said,
well, the good thing about letting him vent about the Jets is, he won't intercept anybody.
So, Arrow, Big E, the floor is yours.
Well, if all the Jet fans out there can make excuses, I'm not. And for all the Aaron Glenn fans, and I listen, I'm a supportive thought. I've supported Aaron Glenn for a long, long time. I really have. Right. I love the fact that the Jets brought him in. He's an ex-Jet. He's a great cornerback from the Jets organization. They drafted him in the 90s. He was a star. For 3 years, he was one of the best corners in the NFL. And obviously with injury and his background of just, all the years of just beating up his body, he obviously retired and then became a coach. He was a cornerback coach over there with the Saints. Then he got an opportunity with the Lions, and he's worked with Sean Payton. He's worked with a lot of big names, and then eventually Dan Campbell. And I thought that, obviously going into a new season with the New York Jets, I thought personally, this was the kind of guy I wanted to bring in, an ex-Jet, a guy that understands what it takes to be a Jet, even though it's been a losing organization for many, many years, that he would figure this out and make this a better, stronger organization and more contempt organization. Well, after the first season, a lot of ups and downs. The Jets could have won 8 games. Obviously failed to beat the Broncos in England, which obviously was just a heartbroken loss. The Buccaneers, they could have won after the punt block. They could have won that game. They choked in that game. It's been the recipe of disaster for the New York Jets for many, many years. So the offseason came around, and a lot of people, with all the opportunities and draft stock that they have, thanks to Moji, making moves in the at the trade deadline, trading Quentin Williams and trading Sauce Gardner, it gave them an abundance of draft stock. And everybody's sitting there right now. The Jets have the 3rd most money to spend in the offseason. The Jets have all this draft stock. And you think that there's a bright side at the end of the rainbow. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there is no bright side, because nobody wants this defensive coordinator job. Nobody wants this offensive coordinator job. John Gruden was reached out to. John Gruden does not want to work under Aaron Glenn as offensive coordinator. And that was his first offer as an offensive coordinator since he got fired. So there's a lot of thought to the process of the New York Jets. Then Wink Martindale, another guy that is very well respected around the league in college football. Well, Wink Martindale was told by Aaron Glenn that he would be calling the plays. And then after the second meeting, which Aaron Glenn told Wink to Jets training camp or Jets training facilities, told Wink Martindale he's calling the plays and that he would be the other guy. And Wink told him to go fly a kite. So this is I don't know what's going on with this organization. Now, I do trust Darren Moji. I do. I think Moji is a smart guy. He knows what he's doing. I think he's going to be a very good, successful GM. I think he was handpicked, by this an abundance of whatever they call themselves, the picker crew, whatever the hell they'll call them, with these 4 guys that made the decision on who's going to get hired, what's going to get hired. It wasn't Woody Johnson. No team picks an organization of idiots to pick who their GM and who their coach is going to be. Only the Jets. Only the Jets.
Cowboys are a close second, though.
So you think about it. You think about it every day, and I've been thinking about it over the last couple of weeks. I'm wondering, not that the organization doesn't spend money, not that the organization doesn't know what they're doing, or maybe they don't. I mean, what I have a problem with right now is that does Aaron Glenn know what he's doing? Is he a little bit drained from being a head coach for the first year with the New York Jets and only winning 3 games and embarrassing himself in the last 5 weeks of the football season? Is it wrong to say that firing 9 coaches after the first season is a little weird? I mean, there's just none of this makes any sense. So what does this tell me? Well, fans, I'm going to tell you what it tells me. It tells me one thing, that Aaron Glenn's not going to be here so long. I don't think Aaron Glenn's going to last another year. I'm very surprised that Aaron Glenn didn't get fired yet after all this. If I was Woody Johnson right now, I'd tell Aaron Glenn, I don't know what's up your ass, but obviously there's something driving a little too far there because you obviously don't know what you're doing. So
you know what this tells me? You actually know what this tells me? This is a Madden problem because this sounds like something you do on Madden.
Yeah, it does. It does. It sounds like something you do on Madden.
It doesn't make any sense. I mean, all of this, none of it makes any sense. And as a Jet guy, and I also root for the Eagles, but I'm a Jet fan. I grew up a Jet fan. I grew up also a Donovan McNabb fan. So when the Jets sucks for so many years, I rooted for the Eagles. So. But being a Jets fan, there's a lot of complications. There's a lot of trials and tribulations. There's a lot of accidents, as we would call it. But the fact here is that this organization, until they find a quarterback, until they find a guy that can run the ship in the middle and actually be able to call plays. And honestly, they had one in Sam Darnold. I was very upset years ago when they decided, Joe Douglas decided, and Robert Saleh decided to part ways with Sam Darnold. I thought Sam Darnold didn't have enough weapons. He had nobody to throw to. Nobody to throw to. And barely any running game.
That's the big thing about Sam Darnold. That's the big thing about Sam Darnold. And I've said this for a long time, and Errol, you've ridden shotgun with me a couple times when I said he has no weapons. They never gave him any weapons to work with.
Well, let's further the conversation that you're having here, Errol. Is with that the Jets have what, the number 2 pick, or they have
number 2? They have the number 2.
They have 2, right?
Yes.
Right. We all know Fernando Mendoza is going number 1.
Right.
So the Raiders are going to take Fernando Mendoza. If you're the Jets GM, I'm putting you in charge of the Jets as general manager. Do you risk going after one of these quarterbacks that's on the board, or do you do what I think they should do, beef up the defensive line, because that's why y'all aren't getting interceptions, is because you can't sack anybody.
Right. You're not pressuring the quarterback.
All right. So if I was the GM right now, I'd trade out of that second. If I were the Jets GM, I would trade out of that second pick. I would move down 5 or 6 picks and keep growing and keep getting more first round picks. This year they have 2. Next year they have 3 first round draft picks. And next year is the class you draft a quarterback. Now the Jets could they could get the LSU quarterback in the 3rd round, or if they want to, they want to move up in the 4th round to get the LSU quarterback. Maybe that would make sense. Have him sit behind a veteran quarterback and see if he's anything at the end of the season. And maybe they don't have to reach, because I like the LSU quarterback. I do. I think he didn't have a good season. Nussmeier, yes. I think Nussmeier has had an on and off season. He wasn't healthy. I think Nussmeier was going to be a first round draft pick a year ago if he went into the draft. He decided to go back, obviously because of the coach. The coach got fired, and LSU completely. Brian Kelly got fired, and LSU went down the drain. So honestly, if I were the Jets, I'd trade out of that second pick. I don't know if anybody's going to trade up because there's no quarterback really, except Ty Simpson. And Ty Simpson might be a mid or late 20s draft pick. A lot of people believe it's going to be Pittsburgh drafting Simpson in wherever Pittsburgh is drafting in the 20s. That's what I'm hearing right now. Ty Simpson. They're going to bring Aaron Rodgers back with Mike McCarthy for 1 more year, have Simpson sit behind him for a year, and then give him the reins as the quarterback quarterback of this organization, the Pittsburgh Steelers. So that's what I've heard. I have an inside source telling me that's what Pittsburgh is planning to do. They might even move up to get him. The Jets are not going to be a team that is going to be able to move this second pick very easily because there is no quarterbacks. There's no reach. So I think you go either after Reese or Bain. If nobody wants this pick, you go after Reese or Bain. Those are the two best guys, I think, on the board. Reese is a linebacker. You can move him around the line. He could be a defensive end. He could be a linebacker inside, outside. This guy was the best linebacker in the country last year for Ohio State. The best defense in the country last year was the Ohio State Buckeyes. So the Buckeyes seem like more of the Jets are seeming. Now I'm going to say this. The Jets have made mistakes on Buckeye linebackers before. Golston, remember him?
Vernon Golston.
Yes.
Vernon Golston. Yes.
It didn't work over there when they drafted him with Eric Mangini. The guy had one tackle in his whole career. So, and it was on a punt return. So the guy was an absolute debacle. But Reese is extremely talented. John Grunen's been training him in the offseason. And I think that if you would ask me right now, who is going to be the next coach of the New York Jets if Aaron Glenn gets fired at the end of this coming season, it probably is John Gruden. Because the Jets are the craziest team and they're probably the dumbest team. So they'll probably be the more open team to make the move and bring in a guy like a John Gruden. John Gruden, who is a guy who's changed franchises. He's made franchises better. They help him. Obviously, he can work with Moji and work on picking the guys that he wants. The Jets have an abundance of draft stock next year as well. So the Jets could reset their team. And in any sport, anybody that knows this about football, that you could be the worst team one year and the best team the next. So the Jets, I'm not saying that's going to happen to the Jets, but the Jets can build right now and transform their team in the next 2 years to be a contender in the third year. I think next year you go after. You could look at Arch Manning. You could look at Dante Moore. You could look at Jeremiah. You could look at Sayin. You could look at all these guys. Sellers. There's a lot of quarterbacks, an abundance of quarterbacks, really good ones that are going to be available in the Jets' hands next year. If Nussmeier or somebody that they're going to bring in, maybe a Carson Beck, they bring in and take a chance with Carson Beck. So I think it makes a lot of sense that the Jets sit still, bring in a veteran, maybe reach out to the Texans. David Mills is a guy that I like. He would be a good starter for the New York Jets. The Jets could use him this year if he starts very well and he plays very well. You keep David Mills on the roster, and then you go after a young guy to sit behind him for 2 years.
Who would be, besides the Jets and the Steelers, who else is in dire need of a quarterback that they need to
Indianapolis
this year?
Indianapolis.
You reached in my head again. Man, look.
The Arizona Cardinals.
Riley Leonard. I like Riley Leonard, and I believe they should have started him over Daniel Jones. I mean, I hate the fact that Daniel Jones had not one but two big injuries that finished his season. Should Riley Leonard be the starter in Indy, or should they go after a quarterback in this class and bring him in and give him the keys immediately? What should they do?
First of all, I've interviewed Riley Leonard since he was in 8th grade. I've been talking to him even when he was drafted by the Indianapolis Colts. I'm working on getting him on the show this next couple of weeks. I've known Riley since he was a kid. I gave him his first sports interview in his career.
Nice.
So I've known Riley. I love Riley. He's a good kid, but we don't know how quick this development's going to be. He looked pretty good in some games last year, lost in others. I think that there are other teams like you said, Arizona's an interesting team. I've heard that Kyler Murray is connected to the New York Jets. The Jets could bring him in as a veteran, a guy, but I don't know if I want to bring in a cancer like that in my locker room.
I was going to say, you're going to have a fight between who plays Madden, who plays Call of Duty, if that's the case.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
I do have this one question. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Go ahead.
Looking at some of the things that Damien's been putting in the chat. He says, "Why not the Jets just build around Justin Fields?"
They tried that. Simply put, they tried that. Look what
I'm gonna come right back in, guys. I gotta make a quick call. Okay. I'm sorry. I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right. Arrow Mark's joining us. He'll rejoin us, and let's take a break because we're headed toward the top of the hour. Let's take a break. We'll do our IDs, and Arrow Marks will rejoin us. The man is busy. But first,
the following is a public service announcement from Wise El Jefe,
Boston.
This has been a public service announcement from Wise El Jefe.
Another thing I can
know what I'm gonna do
off the top of my head.
I'm gonna do a public service announcement for everybody. I'm gonna create it.
And here's something funny. Like, what was it? Like right after that came out, another one of our friends, David 3000, came up
did
with
the same thing, and he said, "Yep,
Yankees suck."
This, hang on. Before we go to break, I got one for you. This is a public service announcement from the big dog. Screw the Yankees. This has been a public service announcement from the big dog.
Victor, your turn.
Oh, God.
He's going to bury Jerry Jones in this one.
Wait, I've got one.
Okay, while Victor thinks of one, Jen, go ahead.
Okay. This one's for Playmaker. Are you ready?
Okay.
Jeez.
This is a public service announcement from the Playmaker. If Father O'Shaughnessy can go to hell, that's what he needs.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Now, what the hell does Father O'Shaughnessy ever do to you?
Right.
This is a public service announcement. Yankees and Red Sox suck. Go Mets.
Oh.
What are you smoking, Deets?
Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. Okay. You got one yet, Victor?
Come back to me.
Come back to you.
I'm in between.
I got one for the Queen.
Oh God.
Oh gosh.
This is a public service announcement from Genevieve Yoso. I'm Luna, bitch.
I got one for Jen.
That's for you, Tom.
I got one for Jen.
Oh God.
The following is a public service announcement from Genevieve Yoso. Couch. This has been a public service announcement.
I don't think we could get away with that one.
I got a couple more for Jen. No, I got one for Deets.
Oh.
I got one for Deets.
What are we doing?
No. Even better.
I think I know where this one's going.
Wait, and Deeds, you know which one of the popular ones I'm going to use for you. The following is a public service announcement from Totally Deets. Dak throws it to, oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, I was thinking the other way.
Change that. The following is a public service announcement from Totally Deets. Put somebody in the middle of the doggone field. It's not hard.
Yes.
I've got one.
All right.
The following is a public service announcement from A Pizzle.
No, the one I got for A Pizzle is the following: public service now by A Pizzle. Well, that game bleeping sucked.
That's the one I'm gonna use. Oh Jesus.
Napoleon, if you're watching this, I hope you're proud of that. I hope you're proud of the pineapple one. And I'm sorry that I completely butchered Kiara's voice.
Okay.
This is going to turn into a bleeping short.
I got one for Napoleon.
Oh.
The following is a public service announcement from Napoleon Dynamite. Why did I trust Geno Smith?
No. I got one for Napoleon.
You need a short clip from his Riku style apology.
I'll find it. All right, Deets, I'll set you up here. The following is a who are we doing this for? Napoleon?
For Napoleon.
Okay. The following is a public service announcement from Napoleon Johnamite.
Sorry, the A's were too cheap to pay for this.
Oh my god.
Boss, let's go to break on that one. Let's go to break on that one.
Later, I don't know if I can top that one. Yikes.
Let's go to break. Let's go to break. We need it.
We're toward the top of the hour and we're having fun. Hope you're having fun with us. This is Snowman in the Morning. Good Lord,
halftime.
I know what the second hour is going to be. Y'all stick around. We're going to have a lot of fun and a lot of laughs. Back in the deuce.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Whether it's news, the largest egg producer finds bird flu in chickens at a Texas plant, weather, devastating tornadoes rip through the heart of the United States, inspiration, a breast cancer survivor completed the journey of chemotherapy and now begins a future one of matrimony or sports. Michael Jordan is shown on a photo with Diddy. LeBron James has a video extolling the virtues of a Diddy party. This has been yet another beating a dead horse presentation. We got you covered. BS3 Network, in association with Comey Media Incorporated, proudly present The Morning Shift with Cole Johnson. Live every weekday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central.
You can say you're not impressed. You can say you're not happy. You can say all these things, but no, whatever the case may be, the Buckeyes are on top of the football world. And it's just where it is.
The SEC.
And what does Georgia do? Well, as a team that has a championship pedigree would do, they came out full guns blazing, just like a tested SEC team would do. And
Big 12.
That team right there that is ranked 15 that put up 45 points.
Yes, sir.
They were picked dead last at the beginning of the season.
The ACC.
Start with the biggest name first. Chapel Bill now. It's no longer called Chapel Hill. It's called Chapel Bill because Bill Belichick is now the head coach of the North Carolina Tar Heels. The CLP rankings, do away with that.
Right.
Do away with it.
Bring down the gridiron on the Playmakers Blog Network YouTube channel and where you can find podcasts. Because we take this job so serious.
Nacho fry. Would you like a nacho fry? Would you like a nacho fry?
What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning.
The following
is
service announcement from Gargura.
Nacho fry. You want a nacho fry?
No, I got
the
one
following.
For dog. Just a moment.
Oh no,
I got one for dog. The following.
Oh no.
Service announcement from the big dog saying late. Give me them cocks.
Yes. Yes.
The following is a public service announcement from Brian Snow. Dear Bronsexuals, bleep you.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. I think I have one.
Okay, Victor. Lay it on me.
Okay. The following is a public service announcement by Vic A. Law. Jerry Jones steals more money from Cowboys fans than Gun Run steals from an autoimmune charity.
I'm cutting that. I'm cutting that one.
Yes.
With that in mind,
we owe y'all some IDs.
Hey.
We owe you an ID. This is Snowman in the Morning on a Friday.
You're listening to WJKS-TV, your Hoosier Sports Home and Indiana Sports Hub play-by-play voice. You're listening to WHDR-DB, your radio home and voice of the Carolinas.
What is wrong with us?
You're listening to WBWS-DB, your new Chicago Sports Hub radio voice.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
You're listening to WQVZ, 1700 AM Mission Radio.
Chapel Bill now.
You like that? You like that?
Oh my God!
That should be Playmakers.
I have one.
I got
Snowman.
Errol
Snowman.
laughing. Let's bring back Errol Marks, who is laughing at us being crazy on this show.
Speaking of Snowman, I've got one Deets will understand.
Okay.
Speaking of
Hey,
Deets, is this who we got up here? Is this Aaron Glenn?
That's Aaron Glenn.
Those are both Aaron Glenn.
Okay. Jen, what you got for us?
Okay, are you ready for this one, Deets?
I'm ready.
Oh boy.
The following is a public service announcement from Genevieve Yoso. You're not Zaza Stocks. Get the hell out of here with the good vibes.
No. I had one. I got another one for Jen, and then we can get back to Big E. I got another one for Jen.
Okay.
The following is a public service announcement from Genevieve Yoso. Stay solo, bitch.
I got one.
That's a good one.
Just a moment. I got one for Errol. And it goes like this. The following is a public service announcement from Errol Marks. Aaron Glenn, I don't know how far a car drove up your ass.
I mean,
because when Errol said that, and Errol Marks is back with us, when Errol said that this morning, that's like, okay, perfect. I gotta work it in. So I gotta work it in somehow.
To me, it's like right now, Aaron Glenn is like right now the NFL version of Tyler Marsh.
Oh,
like you don't know what the heck he's doing. And I think the most memeable thing for him was that dance he did on the sideline after the return.
I bet you
Tyler Marsh. He's more like the NFL version of Randy Marsh.
Oh my.
Oh!
I bet you. I bet you when Errol saw Aaron Glenn do that dance in Tampa, not realizing there's time remaining on the clock for the Bucks to come down and get the winning points, which they eventually did. And Errol, you said something to me that applies. He said, "I know how you feel," because I vented about my 49ers on his show a week and a half ago. He says, "I know how you feel when you're venting. I'm a Jets fan, and every day I feel like I want to punch a wall or something."
Well, at least it's better punching a wall than headbutting a wall, and I've felt that way.
I've done both. Trust me, I've done both.
Well, Errol, I got a question about what you said last segment, and are they saying Reese is going to go in the top 10?
Oh yeah. Reese is a top 5 pick. Yeah.
Okay. That creates a problem. I was figuring there weren't going to be many linebackers. I was figuring if the Jets are stuck with that number 2, Ruben Bain has proven himself to be the number 2 pick. And you could get him and then try to move up, try to use 17 to move up and get Reese and try to get both. I don't think you can get both if you pass on Ruben Bain. If you take Bain, I think you can move up and get Reese. I don't think you can move up to get Bain.
Let me ask Errol this question because we talked about it off the air about Ruben Bain. Would he be your anchor, your new anchor on your defense if you draft him at number 2?
100%. I love Ruben Bain. And that's the guy that I would go after. But here's the thing. The Jets' problem since C.J. Mosley decided to step away and retire is the linebacker position. And the best linebacker in this draft is Reese. It's not even an argument. The guy has a tremendous ability, a tremendous knack of leadership. What he has been for the Ohio State Buckeyes for the last 2 seasons has been elite. Now, I love Reuben Bain, and that's the guy that I would go with. But knowing the New York Jets and the organization as a whole, they're going to go after the guy that fits in automatically. Now, I've been hearing that, there's a lion that is going to be available, and I'm not going to mention his name. I'm sure everybody has heard that there is a specific defensive lineman that is going to be available this offseason. And a lot of people believe that the Jets are connected to him. And I think everybody knows who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And if you don't, well, just look it up. The Jets are very interested in him. The Jets got a lot of money, man. So I mean, if you're a Jet fan, and I'm telling you, us Jet fans, we're very connected to our team. I mean, the Jets have some of the best fans in the world, just like the Cowboys, just like the Pittsburgh Steelers, just like the New York Giants. The Jet fans stick to their team no matter how bad they are, unlike the Brown fans. But
the Brown fans are really, really bad.
I had to throw that in there. By the way, that Monken signing was absolutely putrid. It's so funny, but anyway. As a Jet guy, I would tell you this. You sit back and you wonder, what is the next debacle the Jets are going to put out there where you're going to probably say, oh my God, what is this organization doing? And Aaron Glenn's like a used car, not be able to start. That's what it is. And he doesn't understand what it is to be a Jets coach and not go to the media and under the bus, but the organization under the bus. He doesn't understand how to speak. He doesn't want to give any information. He told the media this year, why does he have to tell them anything? I mean, you're in New York, the media state of the world, and you're telling the media that I don't have to tell you anything. This isn't Bill Belichick. This isn't New England. This is New York. And if you go out there and you throw a curveball to the media, what do you think the media is going to do to you? They're going to eat you up alive. And that's what the media has done to him all season long, is eat him up alive. Him and his ugly mustache, his ugly beard, and him dancing. I love Aaron Glenn. I love him. He's a Jet. But he's losing. He's not even losing the organization. He's losing the fans. This is a guy that was very well respected by the Jet fans. Now the Jet fans are starting to make fun of him, hate him. Could you imagine a guy that was one of the most beloved New York Jets over the last 30 years? My friend, Eric Martini, and he's probably not listening. He is a diehard Aaron Glenn fan. He became a Jet fan from San Francisco. He grew up a San Francisco 49er fan. He fell in love with Aaron Glenn when the Jets drafted him. He became a diehard Jet fan. For years, when the Jets picked Robert Saleh over Aaron Glenn, because Aaron Glenn interviewed for the job years ago, and the Jets decided to go with Robert, a.k.a. Bambi Saleh. Bambi was picked over Aaron Glenn. And Bambi didn't work, and now he's with the Tennessee Titans with Brian Daboll. By the way, I predicted Daboll was going to be his offensive coordinator before the conversations were ever going to happen. All right? Aaron Glenn got the job. Woody Johnson decided to go with an ex-Jet. And when he was at the press conference, he said some things that kind of irked me and kind of got me scared. But I said, you know what? He's a first-time head coach. I'm going to ride or die with this guy. I believe that he's going to figure this out. Well, after watching the first year, and Dan Campbell he only won 3 games his first year. I thought, hey, you know what? The Jet fans need to stop making fun of him, stop pushing him to the brink. The Jets could have won 7 or 8 games this year if they didn't choke in the fourth quarter. So my argument here is, after what I've seen this offseason, with John Gruden, Wink Martindale, firing 9 coaches, not understanding what it takes to get the fans pumped up for the next season. It's starting to tell me, and it's starting to drive in my head that he's not the guy. And it's hard for me to say this because I've been sticking up for Aaron Glenn all season long. It takes 3 years for a coach to get an opportunity to build his own team. He hasn't even got there. He was using Robert Saleh's team, and now he has an offseason to start to build his team. He might not be there his 3rd year because I don't think it's going to last. I don't think it's going to last. I think he'll be fired if this starts off really bad this coming year. I think he'll be fired in the middle of the season.
Well, how much of next season is going to be on Aaron Glenn? I mean,
everything.
Everything. Dude, when you look at the fact that the GM traded away Quentin Williams, traded away Sauce Gardner, traded away, does that give Aaron Glenn any room for people to say no? If he doesn't have the Hogs now, he's got even less in the kennel right now.
Hogs. And listen, you're a Cowboy fan, so you know what Quentin Williams is, and I've watched Quentin Williams for a long, long time. Quentin Williams is a great player. He's not a championship player. He's not. He chokes. When you need Quentin Williams to show up in the games, he doesn't show up. He disappears off the face of the earth. And Sauce Gardner, and by the way, Quentin Williams has asked the Jets numerous amount of years, 3 years in a row, after the Jets brought his brother in and paid him a lot of money. He wanted to be traded. He wanted out. Okay. And everybody, I knew this for the last 3 years, but I sat and I ride or die with Quentin, and the Jets got a first and I think the Jets got a first and a second for him. All right. Or a first and a third for him. But nevertheless, you sit here and Sauce Gardner, let's be honest. Sauce Gardner grabs more than he actually plays out in the field. All right. The guy pulls on jerseys more than anybody I've ever seen. And Sauce can't stay healthy.
So in Indy, and that's why that's 2 reasons why the Jets got rid of Sauce Gardner. And the big one is what you just said, Errol. He can't stay healthy. He played a grand total of 3 games for the Colts after he got traded, and then he was done for the season with an injury. So the Jets made a good move, and I said this
great move
in getting rid of Sauce Gardner. And the Colts were
I'm not saying they're not great. I'm not saying they weren't great moves. But if you're saying the pot was depleted, the pot's even more depleted now. It's got to be built up. If you're going to put that on the head coach to start the season, that just creates a disaster waiting to happen.
Okay,
you might as well fire him right now. I mean,
okay. So, what's your name, sir? What's your name again?
That's Chris.
I'm Chris Beats, by the way.
Chris, it's very nice to meet you guys. It's very nice to meet you guys. I'll tell you this:
the fellows you hear that are not on the mic, they're using audio because we're dealing with a lot of lag from different places. Shane Lake, my super producer, is here. Victor Locke, our engineer, is here. And this young lady that I've adopted as my daughter from across the pond, this is Genevieve Yoso, and she's a big part of the show now. So
very nice.
Very nice. Now we got the introductions out of the way, and now that Errol is a permanent member of the crew, because I welcome him anytime he wants to come on the event, I welcome him. So now Errol Marks is part of the Snow Crew. So I have to change the thumbnail. You have to respond to pizza. Go ahead.
I appreciate it. I will say this, and I know a lot of people listen. There are Cowboy fans out there, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, and listen. Right. And you're a San Francisco 49er fan. At least they make the playoffs, and at least at least the Jets haven't been in a playoffs in 15 years. Now we're going into 16 years, the longest drought out of any NFL team. But here's the facts. The organization is run by a guy that doesn't shut up. All right. Woody Johnson does not shut up. He yaps his big mouth. He doesn't know when to keep his mouth to himself. They call me the mouth on my show. And I sometimes take a step back and understand that I shouldn't be saying things that I shouldn't be saying, but I do it anyways. But Woody Johnson Woody Johnson comes out and he says he thinks he knows stuff about football. He thinks he has an argument about where this team is going. He threw his quarterbacks under the bus. He threw Zach Wilson under the bus. He threw everybody under the bus. And that's the problem with this ownership. If Moji can't take the reign and he can't take the fire, he might as well get out of the pot. Okay. Yep. And to me, this is an organization that just needs direction. If they have direction, they'll succeed. They have an owner that spends money. And it just so happens the Raiders choked the last 3 games of the season purposely. Yep. I had Chris Collier on the show on Monday. He's the third string running back. He's from Long Island. Shout out to Chris Collier. He's the third tier running back on the Las Vegas Raiders. And he's from Long Island, Hempstead, New York. And I asked him, I said, what was it like the last 3 games of the season choking? I said, you guys were out to choke because you wanted that number 1 pick. You wanted Mendoza. And he said, well, I don't know if we were choking or because I can't say that we were doing. Every single player wanted to go out there and win. We have a heart and there's only a certain amount of positions in this league that you have a chance to play professional football. But he said Max Crosby came out and he said what he felt because he spoke for the team. Nobody liked that. Pete Carroll didn't like that. Pete Carroll didn't want to choke at the end of the season because he knew he was going to lose his job. So, and I asked him, I said, what kind of coach is Pete Carroll? He says, he's a player's coach, but he's straightforward with you. And it was wrong for what the Raiders did to Pete Carroll in the end. Why did you hire him if you were? And by the way, the Raiders are the only organization right now that doesn't have a coach. Right. So I sit here right now as a Jet guy, and I listen. I'm a New York man, and I'm fair to my teams. I'm honest. This organization will never win, and it has nothing to do with Quentin Williams or Sauce Gardner losing players. Aaron Glenn. You can bring in Bill Parcells and Vince Lombardi as the head coach. It won't matter if they don't have a good, trustworthy quarterback. And they don't have one, and they're not going to have one until they stop with this rubbish. They stop with this garbage on and off the field. You think that the Manning family, if the Jets are sitting in the top 3 next year or the number 1 pick, do you really think Archie Manning, the senior, is going to allow his grandson to go and play for the Jets? He didn't want Peyton Manning to play for the Jets.
Peyton Manning to play for the Jets. I remember that. He didn't. When the Jets were talking,
he'll do what Dante Moore did and just go back to school.
Right.
Yeah. And I, by the way, Dante Moore, and I don't like to use curses. Dante Moore is a bitch. Okay. That's what he is. All right. That's what he is. Because anybody that choked, first of all, you go back to Oregon and they bring they call this kid Patrick Mahomes, whatever they call him, the small Patrick Mahomes, the baby Patrick Mahomes. He transferred to Oregon. And now they have 2 quarterbacks there. It doesn't make any sense. Dante Moore should have went into the draft. He should have taken the bull by its horns, and he could have been the savior for the New York Jets. He could have been the voice of reason. Why do you want this job, John? You want to coach a good quarterback? We got Dante Moore. You can coach this guy up. You can transform this guy. And then, hey, if Aaron Glenn doesn't work, we bring you on, and you're the head coach next year. So it made a lot of sense on. Came out of the draft. Ty Simpson came out of the draft because he knew that if he went into back to college next year and went back into the draft next year, he's not even a 1st-round draft pick. He might not even be a 2nd. And he knew that. He knew that if he was going into this year's draft, he would be a 1st-round draft pick and he'd get a lot of money. And that's why he went into this draft.
The difference between those 2 guys, though, the difference between Dante Moore and Ty Simpson, Dante Moore is going back to Phil Knight. He's not going back to Oregon. He's going back to being paid by Nike to play for Oregon next year. There's no question about that. NIL deal with Nike. That's why he's back at Oregon.
That's fine. And you want to know something? If he went number 2,
that's why.
If he went number 2, don't you think he'd make more money?
He probably would.
He would make a lot more money. And I got news for Dante Moore. I got news for Dante Moore. And no matter how big his season is, I think Sellers will be drafted in front of him. Arch Manning will be drafted in front of him. And Saying will be drafted in front of him. So you know what that means for Dante Moore next year? It means less money. That's what it means. Less money.
So saying Lenore Sellers and Arch Manning, if Dante Moore comes out next year, which we all know he will, the 3 quarterbacks you mentioned will be drafted in front of him, and they'll make a ton. They'll make a ton more money. So the NIL deal, while good now, when next year when he comes out, it's going to be null and void because the 3 quarterbacks you mentioned are going to be drafted in front of him.
100%. 100%. And it's a shame because I like Dante Moore. I liked him. And a lot of people think that he didn't come out because he didn't want to go to the Jets. Right. And that's fine. You don't want to go to the Jets as a Jets fan. We don't want you. It's fine. You don't have to be here. Where are you going to go? Even if you're in the top of the Dante, you have to understand something. No matter where you get drafted and who drafts you, you're going to a bad team. You're going to go to a bad team. You're not going to a good team. Nobody's trading up for you. Nobody's going to be crazy enough to give up their future for you. And now that you've proven that you don't want to take the bull by its horns and you just want to go back to school and get NIL money, good for you. I'm not going to attack somebody that is trying to get more money in the long run. But guess what? In the long run, when you go and you decide that you're going to enter the NFL draft, no team is going to be interested in drafting a guy that doesn't want to be the guy for an organization that is looking for a guy that can run and take this organization to the next level. It's unfortunate, but I'm telling you right now, if you would ask me today, Dante Moore is available and he's sitting there and the Jets are at number 3 or the Jets are at number 2. And I have a choice between Sellers or Sayin or even Arch Manning. I'm going away from Dante Moore, no matter how good of a season Dante Moore has, because Dante Moore proved to me that he cannot be the man. He doesn't want to be the man. He's a bitch. He's a bitch.
He doesn't want to be the man because throughout the course of the season, because I paid attention to the Big Ten, throughout the course of the season, you can see it in his eyes. You can see it in his posture. I'll give you one game where he should have been the man, but he wasn't because of his attitude. Indiana.
So basically, you're saying that Dante Moore is going to end up Shedeur Sandersing himself then.
Mm-hmm. I think what he did this past couple of weeks after he got knocked out by the Indiana Hoosiers, and they were talking to him, and he wouldn't give any answers what he was doing. And then all of a sudden, there was a story that came out that somebody, I forget who wrote it, from Oregon, one of the writers said that he spoke to Dante Moore, and he had no interest into going and playing for the New York Jets at number 2, that he automatically is going to go back to college. And if Oregon doesn't want him, he'll go into the portal and play one more year of college football and get the money, take the NIL money, which tells me that he bitched out. He doesn't want to take. So what you're telling me is if it was the Raiders and if it wasn't Mendoza, you would rather be a Raider? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Mendoza, listen, I was at the Heisman Trophy dinner. I was there. I interviewed Mendoza. I interviewed all Sayin. I interviewed all Love. I interviewed all of those guys. I was there. I was there in Manhattan. I had a conversation with him. I was the only guy that was asking as many questions as I was to Mendoza. And I asked Mendoza, I said, if the Jets drafted you at 1 or 2, how would you feel coming to New York and being the face of this organization? He said, and I'll give you word for word what he said. He said, God gave me a gift. God gave me a gift. And no matter who drafts me, I'm going to go out there, play my heart out, and show them what they drafted. That's what he said. He said that I'm going to go out there and be what I am as a teammate, as a leader, and I'm not going to worry about what organization drafted me or how bad the organization is or where the organization has been. I'm here to win. So you want to hear that from your quarterback. You do not want to hear your quarterback or a quarterback that might be a top 3 pick say, yeah, I don't want to play for the Jets. I'm just going to go back to college. Okay. That tells me he's not a leader.
I think what's very telling is that in situations like that, of course, like you said, if you're going to be in the top draft, you're going to go to a team that is looking for help. You're not going to go against a team who is basically AFC, NFC champion within this year, the next year. You're looking for a team that's probably bottom of the barrel or probably somewhere in the middle of the road, and you give that spark. And I think most quarterbacks would take that as a challenge, saying, "Yeah, I can lead this team to become Super Bowl champion next 3 to 4 or 5 years."
You just said the biggest thing, Victor. You just said the biggest thing. I want a team that I can lift up. You just said the biggest thing. You want the challenge. Yep.
You want the challenge because, I don't want a team that's already been made for me where I could just plug myself in and then we end up winning chips. I want a team that with me and these guys, I fight and claw and scrape and bite my way.
Put in the work,
right?
And you put in the work. You put in the work to be the man.
And I think that's what I say. I think Dante Moore should Shedeur Sanders himself, because now people are gonna say, "Well, you're an elitist. You're not gonna. You don't really want. You want a team that's gonna be a cakewalk to the championship. Not
that's not fair though. He didn't Shedeur Sanders himself, because Shedeur Sanders dropped himself almost out of the draft. Dante Moore is still going to be a first round or a high second round pick next year, whether he comes out or not. And if he comes back next year and wins the Heisman Trophy, everything's in front of him. Everything's in front of him, and
he's not. He's not winning the Heisman. He's not. He's not.
We can say that, but if the Ducks go 13-0 and win the Big Ten. And I'm not saying I'm not predicting that right now, but I'm saying if they do, it's not the craziest thing for the Ducks to have a really good season. We've seen them do it before with a quarterback like Bo Nix. So it's not impossible. What I'm saying is it's not impossible.
Let me clarify. I'm not saying knocking himself out the draft. What I'm saying is that there was some allure to Shedeur starting the draft. And then with each interview and play and training and interview and playing training, the allure was stripped away because of how he acted. So in this same situation, with Dante Moore saying, "I don't want to play for the Jets," it could be like he's just not a Jets fan or whatever it could be, but it does take that shine off the apple. It takes that allure.
The more apt comparison would be, does he Teddy Bridgewater himself? Where Teddy Bridgewater was supposed to be the number one pick in the draft, goes back to Louisville, has a disastrous season, and ends up falling out of the first round, and then has the career that Teddy Bridgewater had. That's where he could end up.
Bridgewater, I think, was a late first round draft pick by the Vikings, if I'm not mistaken. Yes,
right. He was supposed to be the number one quarterback taken. Yeah. He decides to go back to school, ends up being the only reason the Vikings got him is because they had to trade back into the first round to get him.
Yeah. So, all right. I like all your opinions. First of all, Sayin is probably, with Ohio State and with their recruiting class going into the season, I think Ohio State is going to be the best team once again in the country. And Sayin was the only reason why he didn't win the Heisman Trophy this year is because he was a freshman and they wanted to go with Mendoza. It was a little bit more of a greater story. His mother has MS. What he's done, the Hoosiers were undefeated. The Hoosiers have never been in this position. Ohio State has always been in this position, and Ohio State had always been an elite team. So they gave it to him. To honest to God truth, if you were to ask me who had a better season, Mendoza or Sayin, I would say Sayin had a better season. So, and he's a nice kid. By the way, Julian Sayin is a really, really nice kid, good-looking kid. If he came to New York, I think the women, everybody will love this kid. He is a great kid, But I will say this. Arch Manning is going to be the prize next year. He is going to be the prize no matter what. Whoever goes number one, and I'm going to tell you this right now. You see what the Raiders did, and I think the NFL, and I've spoke about this on my show. And I said this to Jabba the other day, and he says, "Well, I'm out of my mind." And I said, "I'm not out of my mind. I'm being honest. If the NHL and the NBA and the MLB have they have a lottery pick and stuff like lottery balls and stuff like that. That's what the NFL should be doing. What the Raiders did What the Raiders did at the end of the season was an absolute horrible situation, and it shows you that organization bombed for Mendoza. That's what I called it on my show, bomb for Mendoza, because that's what they did.
Saying that.
Yep. So
if they do a lottery for the NFL, it would have to be live. You would have to see it, because there is no way they could get away with a lottery in the NFL. Everybody already thinks there's already a clan of people that think the NFL is fixed. If you start fixing draft picks, like the ice pick that brought Patrick Ewing to the Knicks, okay? If that happens, the NFL is going to explode.
All right, Chris, I'm going to tell you something. And you said something very interesting, and you brought up Patrick Ewing, and you brought up drafts and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Here's what I would say about this. It doesn't matter where you're drafting, what lottery pick you are. And I saw what the NHL did this past year. I think Gary Bettman was very, very smart the way he did it. He did it in front. He wanted to show why the Islanders got the number one pick, why the Islanders got Schaefer, was because they got lucky. They got lucky. The ball just popped up the way they did it right in front of the fans. And to say that the game is rigged, I've been saying it for 11 years. People on other shows attacked me, said, "Who's this guy? Who's this guy that the NFL is rigged?" I had guys, NFL players, looking at me like I was on drugs when I've had them on my show. Professional athletes come on my show saying that I am crazy, and then all of a sudden, an ex-NFL player on a Barstool show comes out, and I'm not going to mention, everybody knows who I'm talking about, an ex-running back from the Texans. Think about it. You know who he is. Yep. Pro Bowl player. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes. All right. He comes out and he says that it is fixed. He absolutely believes it. And then everybody's saying, Stephen A. Smith. Everybody is saying it. Here's who said it. I was saying it for almost 11 years. 11 years saying that the NFL is rigged.
We said it on my show. The first year on my show, we said it.
We said it here. When I first met Errol,
our first show, we said we're not talking the NFL. It's fixed anyway.
When I first met Errol, his first question to me was, "Do you think the NFL's rigged?" I didn't even hesitate. Yes. We've seen clues. We've seen them drop breadcrumbs of them rigging the games and rigging the season. I've seen it for years. And the first time I had Errol on my program, he said it. And I'm not flinching.
I'll say this.
And we've seen it.
The first person to bring it up is always be the first one. It's always going to want to get ridiculed. It's always the 8th, 9th, 10th person that comes up and say, "Oh, well, maybe there's something to say about it." But always the first person that brings it up, which is probably the more correct person, is usually the one who's like, "Oh, he's just crazy. He's a kook. He don't know what he's talking about."
Do you still get attacked, Errol? Do you still get attacked for saying that?
Oh, are you kidding me, dude? I get fan mail. I get fan emails. I write stories, and I know, Snowman, you reached out to me and you want to start writing. I write a lot of stories, and I post it up on Reddit. My guy Speedy posted it up on Reddit, where I'm drawing 20, 30,000 different fans reading it and commenting on it. We have a segment on my show where we pick the one of the stories that draws the most people to reply, and I answer to all the fans. And we go on the show and I give them my answers to what they were writing to me. Yes, I get attacked. I get attacked all the time because I'm a fair, straight, honest person. And I've attacked Stephen A. Smith on his show that they blocked me. When he was on ESPN radio, they blocked me. I attacked Stephen A. Smith. Yeah, this is true. This is a true story, guys.
Welcome to ESPN New York. Welcome to Radio New York.
So
facts.
I'm connected to a lot of people in the industry. A lot of people know who I am. Some people that more than others don't like the way I attack and I say my piece, and I don't really have a filter. I don't curse, really. I don't go out there and curse. I give you my honest take, and I'm going to attack you, and I will hammer you down to the ground until you can't stand up anymore. And I said this many, many times, if you're going to come out and you're going to speak about something, you better know what you're talking about. Because if you're going to say it, you best believe that I'm not going to, if you're saying it wrong, or you're coming out with the wrong comment, or you're coming out with the wrong take, then I'm going to attack it. I know about MMA. I know about boxing. I follow everything. I fought. I know a lot of fighters in the industry. This piece of garbage came out and it said that Floyd Mayweather is the greatest boxer of all time.
Oh, come on.
That's what he said. This is what he said. And so what I did was I listened to his take and I called his shot. Now I know Stephen A. Smith's agent is my agent's father. Okay.
Oh, nice.
So we're connected. All right. So when Brian, by the way, shout out to Brian Mountain. He's my agent. We've had conversations off air about Stephen A. And he says, you guys are very alike, but the one thing about you is you won't stop until you pound somebody to the ground. Stephen A. Smith will say enough, and then he'll be like, okay, let one of my goons finish you off. So I don't need a goon to finish me off. I'm going to finish everything, and I'll drop the mic when I'm done. Okay. I called Stephen A. Smith's show. Yep. I called Stephen A. Smith's show. I know you do, Brian, and I love you. So I called Stephen A. Smith's show, and I told him, I said, all right, you're a Floyd Mayweather fan. Great. I think he's one of the greatest defensive fighters of all time, one of the best counterpunchers I've ever seen. Greatest boxer of all time? He's not even the greatest fighter in his weight class all time. No. He's probably fifth. And he says, what are you talking about? I say, I'll tell you what, Stephen, if you can tell me 10 fighters in his last 20 fights that he fought in their prime, I will zipper my mouth. I will bow down to you, and I'll never attack you for anything ever again. Ever. I won't even. He said, who the hell are you? And I said, listen, get one of your goons to tell you in your earpiece, because I got news for you. Every single fighter that he fought, his last 10 fights were against guys that were run out.
On their way out.
Done. Yep. Run out. They're done.
Way out.
Yes. Marquez has been fighting since he was 15 years old, and when he fought him when he was practically 40. I mean, come on. You fought Manny Pacquiao. When he had a torn rotator cuff. Yeah.
Well, I mean, after being mayor, it was Mayor Pacquiao. He wasn't thinking about fighting. He was a freaking mayor.
No, he wouldn't fight Manny Pacquiao when he was at the prime of his career.
Right.
He ducked him. He absolutely ducked him.
He says he didn't. He said he didn't.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Because why were you taking on Manny Pacquiao when he has his injury and was basically on his way out? Why didn't you take him on when he was healthy and was looking for it?
Snowman, they're going to fight this year. It's going to happen. They're going to fight again. I'm going to tell you guys this right now. Mark my words. If Manny Pacquiao trains for this fight and he comes back, this is going to be a real fight. This is not an exhibition fight. This is going to be a pro fight. If this happens, I'm going to predict this. You mark my words. Manny Pacquiao beats Floyd Mayweather and gives him his first looks.
I wouldn't be
surprised.
Mark
my words.
I wouldn't.
Mark my words. It better not be on Netflix. It better not be on Netflix. I won't believe any of it.
It better be available for everybody to see because I want to see it.
It better not be on Netflix because I don't trust Netflix.
You know what? I'm going to couple that. If Manny Pacquiao trains for this, he knocks out Floyd inside 6.
5. Because Pacquiao's going to be fully healthy. We are up against.
Where's the game show music? I can name this tune.
I have to get that. We're up against the break, but before we go to break, let me put this guy up here. This guy gave me a chance on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network, and we've been friends since. And I told him when he offered it to me, I want to be an anchor for your network. I want to anchor the morning show, and I want to make a lot of money doing it, and that's in process. But Errol said, you know what, Snowman? Give me a chance, stick with me, and we'll do this thing. We've been doing this thing since 2021 when I finally said, let's go for it. 5 years we've been on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network, and I couldn't be prouder of this man and what he does for not only Snowman in the Morning, but for his network and my network. We have teamed up. I've aired some of my games on his network, and he's also been a very, very dear friend. When I was going through cancer, he was one of the guys that kept me in good spirits. And I remember Errol chanting to me before I went in for surgery in 2022. He said, knock his ass out, talking about the cancer. That's all he said. He kept saying, knock his ass out. And everybody was chanting that with me. But this man gave me a chance on his network. He's also a very dear friend. I love you dearly, Errol. You have a permanent spot on the show. Whenever you want to come on, we'll get you in. But man, I am proud of you. I'm proud of what you've done with your network. I'm proud of what you've done with your show, Jabba in the Mouth, of which I'm a frequent guest. And I'm proud of you for just who you are. Unfiltered.
Thank you.
He tells it like it is. But I'm proud to call you a brother, not just a friend, but a brother. For as long as we've been brothers.
I want to say something. I love Brian. Brian's been through so much, and a guy that I've always respected. Everything that he does, all the work that he puts in, and you'll get there. Listen, we are ranked today. I got a text by my executive producer today that we're ranked on Spotify and Apple right now at 120. We're under football shows because we have to pick a genre on Spotify and Apple. You can't just pick all sports. It's got to be baseball, hockey, basketball, and football has the most podcasts in the country. There's 5 million on Spotify and there's 2.5 million on Apple. We are ranked at 120 in the country, and we're beating out Peter Schrager and his podcast, and some of all the different shows that are right now on the NFL Network and all that other stuff. And it's an amazing thing that that if you put your work in and you work really, really hard and you believe in the stuff that you do, everything can come to fruition. Jabba came to the show, and I'll tell you guys, everybody asked me, how did you get Jabba on the show? How did you guys band together? And it's very simple. Jabba came on the show wanting to do something at some giveaways during the Cleveland Yankee series 2 years ago in the ALCS. We did something. Jabba loved it so much and loved working with me that he said, let's do this full time, man. Let's do this together. And we've been working ever since. It's been 1.5 years since me and him started, and Jabba is out here in New York today. I'm going to meet up with him on Saturday. He's doing something with Barstool, and it's an amazing thing. And not only do I call you a dear friend, I call you family, and everything that you've been through, all the trials and tribulations, and your heart and soul. And if you want, and I'll tell all the kids this, and I go on a lot of different podcasts. Fans ask me to come on and they want to interview me, and they ask me, well, what does it take to, what does it take to get to the top? And I said, I don't know. I'm not at the top yet. And I said, but what I can tell you is if you want to make it in this industry, you got to be passionate, you got to work hard, and you got to be honest. Don't hide behind anything you say. Be straightforward. Brian, you're one of the first people and one of the more known people that I know that is pretty straightforward, honest, and dedicated to your craft. I love you, man, and keep up the good work. And it was very nice to meet all you guys, fellas and ladies. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bro. Hey, here you go. A little palate cleanser. We had Aaron Glenn before. We'll go with my man,
Wayne Corbett.
Been on my show. Always my man.
Been on my show. Very nice friend. Yeah.
Thank you.
Very good friend.
Thank you. We appreciate you, Errol. Thank you, brother. You're on.
See you later, guys.
Anytime. Thank you. Oh, gracious. That was fun. One more break and then potluck stuff. And the potluck stuff, just like the great Rod Peterson show, is going to boil over, especially when the laughter starts with the PSAs. Back in the deuce.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Jason, let's go see your room.
What do you think? We kept it a little spare, so you can decorate it how you like.
Dinner.
Go. Excellent. Soccer is fun. Yeah, I saw you guys out there.
Owen, let's talk for a second.
Hi, Ellen. Come on in.
When you came into my life, it was a whirlwind.
I just can't do it.
It'll come to you.
It won't.
We had a lot to learn about each other. A lot. Hey, that's good. Things were changing so quickly. We didn't know what the future would hold. Any of us. I just wish you felt more at home now. But we knew you would always be a part of it. Adopting you was the best decision in our life. And I am so proud to call you my son.
Whether it's news, the largest egg producer finds bird flu in chickens at a Texas plant, weather, devastating tornadoes rip through the heart of the United States, inspiration, a breast cancer survivor completed the journey of chemotherapy, and now begins a future one of matrimony or sports. Michael Jordan is shown on a photo with Diddy. LeBron James has a video extolling the virtues of a Diddy party. This has been yet another beating a dead horse presentation. We got you covered. BS3 Network, in association with Comey Media Incorporated, proudly present The Morning Shift with Cole Johnson. Live every weekday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central. Because we take this job so serious.
And Father O'Shaughnessy need to go to hell. That's what he needs.
What did Father O'Shaughnessy do?
I quit. We're done here. I'm done. We're out of here. What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning.
I still don't know what I did to deserve that. I don't know what I did to deserve that one.
Before the top of the hour, we're gonna have some potluck fun to.
I want to throw some out before we really go crazy. Yesterday, Damian Hernandez came up with a really interesting question. I didn't get a chance to answer it because, as we know, D Rose had his number retired, and he asked, what was your favorite Derrick Rose moment? And I have two of them.
Okay.
One was against, I believe it was the Milwaukee Bucks, where
Game winner?
Game winner.
Yep.
Absolutely cold-blooded, and he strolls away, and everyone loses their mind. The second one was against the Heat on Sunday, where he crosses LeBron and D Wade.
And Wade, yep.
And gets the bucket and the foul. No, he got the bucket. They call timeout, and all you see is LeBron crying on the sidelines.
I remember that play because
and the third and my favorite, the free throw in the national championship game.
There you go.
I'll give you my D Rose moment. This is the one where the announcers completely lost their mind. I think it was against Phoenix, where he had a breakaway. He had the breakaway dunk, and all you hear the announcers going is, "Did you not get the memo? He can go higher."
That's the Dragon King. Yep, that That was
Neil
Dragic, right?
Funk and Stacey. That was Neil Funk and Stacey King on the Chicago call.
That was Dragic, wasn't it? That he
Yep.
dunked over.
Goran Dragic.
Yes.
Did you
not get the memo?
Derrick Rose can go upstairs.
I want to go higher. Man,
Higher.
I remember that.
I have a couple of D Rose memories.
Oh,
the
go
first one is I saw in person at the United Center when Simeon was playing for the Public League Championship. And I not only saw that game, I called that game from press row. That's one. The play that Victor mentioned, the human blur.
Yep.
Getting to the basket. LeBron trying to chase him down, couldn't. Another one against Orlando a year later, toward the end of the quarter, and all you saw was Derrick Rose flying down the court and beat everybody to the hoop.
Yep.
I got too many Derrick Rose memories.
I got one more. And then I got one more, and then we'll step away. I got one more. It was City Sub at Welsh Ryan Arena.
Yes.
And the first thing Snowman told me once we got the headset on, he says, "You got to watch out for this kid, Derrick Rose from Simeon."
Yep.
And I said, "What's so okay? Well, what's so special about him?" Because I'd never heard of him. Midway was the beginning of the first period. He breaks away after a steal and just jams home. I'm like, there you go.
Oh, Jen's mad now.
Yeah.
We heard the echo.
She's throwing
Damien
hands.
said, Damien with a two-part question. What's the best Derrick Rose moment, and where would y'all rank him as the Bulls of all time? Number 5, because 5 players have had their number retired up in the rafters at the UC.
Yeah, I'll say 5. I'll say
Rose, Sloan, Bob Love, and of course the dynamic duo Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan.
Yeah, I'll put that.
So, where can you say?
I'd agree with that.
Yeah,
okay.
He's at number 5 because not only was he the captain of the team under Tom Thibodeau, but like I said, he had his number retired.
Yeah, I put him ahead of guys with like Kukoc and Kerr. I put him ahead of those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, do y'all still want the argument, or are we gonna hold off to that till later?
What argument?
You know what argument?
The kickoff debate.
Yeah.
That is going to come Monday.
Okay.
When we start our Super Bowl coverage, because I've already slotted 35 minutes for you and Dietz to go back and forth about it.
Okay.
Okay.
And yes, by the way, I will be taking Dietz's advice. I'll be coming up with the prop bets for the Super Bowl.
Okay. Chances are he'll probably tell me why I'm wrong, but I'm just gonna stand on it.
I got a prop bet.
I'm not.
I got a prop bet for the Super Bowl. How many times Jen screams if somebody scores?
Oh God.
I'd set the over under at about 5.
Over under. How many times do we?
That's assuming I can even watch the match.
Oh, you will.
It's kickoff is at 6:30 Eastern, so it'd be like 11:30 for you.
I think she's talking about more like availability and across the pond. So
It's gotta be available.
I hope
It's gotta be available.
It will be on Peacock.
I had a George Carlin.
I had the exact same
We
joke.
have a Peacock account in this house.
I had a George Carlin Peacock joke in my head
talking about
1982, but I can't do it.
I had the exact same joke.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, Victor. Coming down the stretch here on this late starting edition of Snowman in the Morning. Let me thank everybody here. Dietz with the axe. Jen with the ever-changing models, including Luna Snow. Good Lord.
Oh, and
Victor,
regarding the Luna one,
yes,
I have a Luna cosplay for this model currently in the works.
Why are we not surprised?
I want to thank Jen for something that was very, very funny. She hung out with me for the latter of the divisional call between Buffalo and Denver. She opened her whole mouth
Not this
and said,
again.
I'm having fun with it because I'm making you laugh. She opened her whole mouth and said, if Denver wins, I will cosplay as vodka. Well, it happened. She paid off her she paid off her bet, and I just want to say thank you for being a good sport. Being a good sport about it. To Deets, 9 years of brother, 9 years of being on the show with me. 9 years of us arguing about Iowa and Northwestern whenever they're scheduled to play. But 9 years of friendship, 9 years of brotherhood. He, Errol Marks, Victor, and everybody, got me through cancer, got me through all of my health problems. I'm finally starting to stretch again and get back on my feet and get back to walking and not just getting around the house, but getting around the farm too. So I thank you for being there. Victor, my longtime friend, I don't know how many ways I can say thank you and that I love you as a brother, and thank you for being my longtime engineer.
I got you.
And to the big dog, where we on air celebrated events by drinking, including this.
Yep.
Shane, you remember this one? Not just there were two occasions where someone sent me a liquor sample and asked me to review it. The first time it was bourbon, and I got knocked out on the air. The second time,
we had a blast that time.
The second time, and I didn't tell y'all this one, and this is where we'll close out. The second time, I reached out to somebody on Twitter. I reached out to a distillery on Twitter, and they were talking about their new scotch that they made. I said,
I remember this.
I reached out to him. I said, I'm Brian Snow. I host Snowman in the Morning. I have a YouTube channel, and I would love to review it. And I thought, okay, he's not going to respond to me. 5 minutes later, he says, give me your address. What?
Yep. I remember this.
He said, give me your address and let me know when you're going to review it, and I'll have my boys take a look at it. You're on. I gave him the address. This bottle that he sent me was bigger than a Crown Royal bottle.
Yep. I remember that.
I called Shane and I said, Shane, we got another review to do. And Shane was like, oh, Lord, what'd you get now? Some scotch. He says, holy ish, I'll be there. So we set everything up. I had my shot glasses. He had his drink. I reviewed it on the air, and one of the executives of that distillery saw it and gave me a big thumbs up. He said, whenever you need a sample or to review something, you let me know. And I'm reaching out to every brand right now that watches this show. If y'all have something you want me to review or look at or anything like that, you let a Snowman know and we'll review it on the air.
Facts.
I can't tell you how much of that scotch I drank that night.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Because over the course of 120 minutes, by the time we got done, I said, Shane, I'm not coming on the air tomorrow. He said, oh, yes, you are. You're building something. And thank you, Shane, for doing that and always doing that, especially this morning when it was 8:30 when my alarm went off. My wife had to wake me up and say, turn off your alarm. And my alarm was the old theme from the NBA on CBS.
There you go.
Yep.
I muted that. I thought I hit snooze. I hit dismiss instead.
Yep. I do that. I've done that.
I hit
dismiss. Been done before.
Everybody's done that. Everybody's done
I've
that.
done that.
I wanted to hit snooze. I hit dismiss instead. And thank God I set this link up before I went to bed last night. We're going to make things better, folks.
Victor.
Yes.
Victor, could you imagine? This is what I've been thinking about ever since we had the conversation last segment. Could you imagine how much hell would break loose if the NFL did a lottery and the Cowboys got the number 1 pick?
Oh my God!
Oh Lord!
The world would burn.
All hell would break loose. everyone would be, oh, it's fixed. Well, of course the Cowboys get number one. Oh,
if Snowman thought that my thoughts on George Kittle was a conspiracy theory, let the NFL do a lottery and the Cowboys get the number one pick. There'd be more conspiracy.
That's all I could think of. That's all I could think of when I heard lottery, and I was like, no. I was like, they cannot do this. It would be a disaster.
You know what, Victor?
Be on fire.
You know what, Victor? If they ever held a lottery and the Cowboys got the number one pick, you get that show the next day.
Right?
You and
I gotta
Deeds,
do it with Deets.
Just
I can't do it without Deets.
I would have to have you and Deeds, and I'll even get Ben Sutterth on here.
Mr. Ben, yes.
I'm just gonna give y'all the floor. Listen, I'm just gonna give y'all the floor.
I'd be the first person jumping conspiracy. I'd be the first one. This is rigged. This is rigged to hell.
Yes.
No question about it.
And then if that ever happened, I will give Deets, Victor, and Ben Sutter the floor. Ivan Dawkins, I'll bring him in too. I'll bring Ivan Dawkins in here too, also from the BS3 Network, and I'm gonna find my way back to the BS3 Network. Trust you me, I'm way back there. And I will turn off my camera. I will just give y'all the floor. I will just give cues of when we're going to a break, but that would be the entirety of the show.
But then we'll somehow find, if we did get it, we'll somehow find a way to screw it up anyway. So
right, but the lead up to it would be every single fan in the NFL would be screaming.
Even
screaming
screaming and ballyhooing.
Damien says the Cowboys
would be crazy.
Damien says the Cowboys would get the number one pick and trade it away for crumbs. Why? Because it's the Cowboys.
I mean, you can say the same about the Bears too.
No, we don't trade the number one pick for crumbs. We trade the number one pick for Super Bowls. Just ask the Minnesota Vikings.
There you go.
Yes. Oh God.
I mean, what the Bears got them one doing with pick and they pick a punter. The punter goes to number one.
You know what?
Mitchell Trubisky. That's all I need to say.
Yep.
That's all I need to say. All right.
Oh God.
Matt Nagy. The following is a public service announcement from Brian Snow. Hey Bears, how'd that Nagy thing work out for you?
Better than Uber Fools.
Yeah, because Matt Nagy actually led them to a division title and led them to the playoffs. Playoffs?
Better than Matt Uber Fools.
Playoffs? Listen, one more thing before we get out of here. Dietz and I were checking out the Bears-Packers game Sunday night, 2018. We were texting back and forth. And I said, look at the Bears. They have a lead right now. His next sentence to me made me crack up. And he said, the Bears will blow this lead in 90 seconds.
90 seconds.
So for the next 5 minutes, me and Deese were playing bitter notes on how quick the Bears would choke the lead. We got it down to what? 35 seconds before Aaron Rodgers hit Randall Cobb with the game-winning touchdown, and we started calculating. We started calculating, and Deets finally says that happened in 40 seconds. So we both were in.
Yup.
Randall, sweet.
That's crazy.
That was Deets' first sentence to me. That was his first text to me when I was to the Bears, and it was at Lambeau Field to open the season. And when Deets said the Bears will blow this lead in 90 seconds, and we just started going down the line, I said, no, they won't. They'll blow it in 75 seconds. And Deets comes back and said, nope, it'll be a full minute. It'll be a full 60 seconds. We got down to 35 seconds when Aaron Rodgers hit Randall Cobb with the winning touchdown 40 seconds after we had started that thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
10 seconds.
We got to go. Thank you to everybody that tuned in. Thank you, Damian Hernandez, for being one of our best fans. All right, we love having trolls on the show, but Damian has fun with us. We love you, Damian. We love you, Ryan McCarthy, and to all the fans that have tuned in and have kept this show going for the past 12 years. Have a
question for the dog, right quick, or if the dog's still here.
I'm still here.
Since we're doing NASCAR pick'ems, can we do the same for wrestling, boxing, and UFC?
Jesus Christ.
I'll work on something for wrestling for WrestleMania.
Gotcha.
You know what?
WrestleMania makes sense. The rest of it, the rest of wrestling, we don't have to do anything.
He's actually
WrestleMania
turned
does
into a
make
betting
sense.
house. Davey's trying to turn us into an actual betting house.
Hey, we got a pair of affiliate sponsors for it. Why not?
We do.
Why not? You know what? Let's make that happen. We'll talk off the air. Have a great weekend. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, they're simply not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. We are, y'all are too. And you're talking to a cancer survivor who beat a cancer that always takes man out. I'm one of the 2% because I whipped cancer's ass. And I couldn't have done it without y'all. So long, everybody.
Make sure you hit Twitch.
There's a public service announcement.
_Urso.
The following is a public service announcement from Father Sean O'Shaughnessy. In the name of the Tom Brady, the Ty Blow, and the Teddy Bluski, amen. Thank God we don't have a 38-year-old male coaching us.
And the following is a public service announcement from Cole Johnson.
You tripping.
This has been a public service announcement from Cole Johnson.
Johnson.
We're out of